A mile high salute. What is popping, my people, man? The NFL draft is slowly but surely coming towards us. We're 2.5 weeks away, and I finally put together a list of the plant my flag guys, guys that I feel like whether you get them in the early rounds, the mid rounds, or the late rounds, are going to be very productive players and give some very good value to these NFL teams seeking to add playmakers. I'm going to have a mix of some early round, mid round, and late round guys as well. So let me know your thoughts below in the comment, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am so close to my goal of 1,000 subscribers before the draft. If you're a subscriber, thank you. Tell a friend, have the friend tell a friend, and we will be there in no time. So when I talk about plant my flag guys, or like I like to call them, make my mark, I'm talking about guys that, like I said, I just feel like they have very, very high floors. Their game translates into the modern day NFL, whether it's because they come from, good programs, or I like what I saw on the film in terms of like the effort. It's not always about the productivity. It's just about fitting in a lot of teams' systems depending on what it is that they're needing, right? And when you're getting that started, I think nobody deserves that title more than Emeka Ibuka, right? This is somebody that's coming from Ohio State. All right. A very, very successful program. Obviously, they won the national championship, but they're considered wide receiver U lately because they had Marvin Harrison come out last year. They've got Jackson Smith and Jigba in the league. They've got Chris Olave in the league. They've got Garrett Wilson in the league, among a lot of others. So they've produced a lot of very good wide receivers. And just wait until Jeremiah Smith comes out in a couple of seasons as well. And the thing about Emeka Ibuka is he's been there through all of the success with all of those very, very good players. And he's always been known as like the Batman to another person's Robin, but that doesn't mean that he can't be Batman. He can't be the main guy. Anything that you read or that you hear about him, I've spoken about this kid a lot on the channel. He's one of the best team leaders, unbelievably respected by his teammates and his coaches, very mature kid. And he just does whatever is asked about him to do if it means the team's going to be successful. If it means that he's going to block his ass off in the run game, he'll do that. If he needs to take a back seat and play, mainly in the slot so that other guys can win outside, he'll do it. And he'll be very productive, and he takes advantage of his opportunities. He catches everything. He's a great route runner. I think he's athletic enough and fast enough to definitely be successful and create separation in the NFL. And even though he played a very large majority of his snaps in college in the slot, there were games where guys went down and he played outside, and he can win there too. You can line him up everywhere. Very much got traits of Amon-Ra St. Brown just by the physical way that he plays. And I think he's going to add a lot of value to any team that is looking for a productive wide receiver that can win in the short and intermediate routes. And that's basically anybody. Super productive player, and by all accounts, a great kid. So Emeka Ibuka is definitely one of my first make my mark candidates. I just love everything about him, and I'm so confident that his skill set is going to translate very, very well to the NFL. My number 2 is Jahdae Barron, man, the cornerback from Texas. This is somebody that is obviously extremely highly touted, has the potential to be a top 10 pick. I think he's going to be ultimately the first cornerback off the board. He crushed it at the combine, but at 5'11", just a shade under 200 pounds, he's considered a little bit undersized for the position, but don't let that fool you, man. This dude can play, he can play press, he can play man coverage, he can play zone. He can line up on the outside, and he can be an absolute beast on the inside. And in an NFL where teams are playing so much nickel, they're playing, slot cornerbacks are full-time players now, really, for a lot of these teams. He can win anywhere. And I love his play style, and I love his unbelievable ability to tackle guys. He is the best tackling corner in this NFL draft. Just a sure tackler, which is very important for obvious reasons, but especially in these shell type of defenses where completions are okay at sometimes as long as guys can't get yards after the catch. And Jahdae Barron is definitely somebody that's very reliable when it comes to wrapping up guys, tackling them. I think you can be really creative and send him on blitzes. He can disrupt, running backs in the backfield. He's just a really fun player that, even though he's a little bit undersized, he doesn't play like that. And his game just translates perfectly. And like I said, he's super good in man coverage. He's super good in zone. He had 5 interceptions last year. He's gotten better every single season. And he's played in 43 college games. I think it was. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, 43 games in college, and played a whole bunch in the slot in 2022 and 2023, was super productive in the slot, and then moved outside to play outside corner last year for Texas and was an absolute behemoth there too. Teams love that. This dude is all ball, man. He's a really, really great player, fun player to watch. Like I said, I think he can be a top 10 pick. I think he's deserving of it. And I have no doubt that he'll be a really, really successful player in the NFL. So Jahdae Barron, you have earned the Make My Mark title on the channel. Let's get on to another one of these guys. And I love this dude, man. And this is going to be, I'm really, really interested to see where Jamari Caldwell ends up in the NFL draft. This guy, from a nose tackle, interior defensive lineman standpoint, is like my ideal type of size. 6'1", so he's not very tall. He's got long arms, though. 340 pounds, super low to the ground. Leverage is not going to be a problem for him. He's someone that is just an absolute behemoth. He had 22 quarterback hurries last year. Yes, I get it. He only had 1 sack. He did have 6 sacks in 2023. Here's the thing about Jamari Caldwell, man. He's not going to light up the NFL stat sheet, but he's going to be able to take on double teams. He's extremely strong, very, very violent player. He's going to be very good against the run, or even early on in his career. And in a NFL where defensive linemen are constantly being rotated in and out, depending on the down and distance that's happening, he's going to be able to come in and be a very good rotational defensive lineman right off the bat. Someone that is only scratching the surface, I think, of his pass rush potential. And you can see that with his pass rush win weight grade of 9.3% for an interior guy that's really, really good. And like I said, I think he's getting better. He's very aware. He bats down a lot of balls. And one of the things that you love to see, especially with these bigger linemen, these guys that are always in the best cardiovascular shape, is that his motor is crazy. His motor really, really is. In the first quarter or in the fourth quarter, it looks the same. The dude is just, the effort is there, and you got to love seeing that. And like I said, I think getting in the NFL, getting him stronger, refining his technique, I think he's going to be able to give you a lot of upside when rushing the passer. But man, I just know when a team takes him, and you know, it could be anywhere from the 3rd round to the 6th round. He's going to be someone that can come in and contribute right off the bat. And you might not see it in the stat sheet, but when you start realizing that the guys around him are more productive, you can thank him because of his ability to just take on double teams and create a lot of one-on-ones outside. Really, really fun player. Really popped off to me. And, you know, he's been overshadowed a lot by Derek Harmon, which is understandable because Derek Harmon is an absolute monster too, but they're very different players. And what Jamari Caldwell can give you is a very solid run-stopping nose tackle that can play really all along the line, depending on the type of scheme. So huge fan there. All right, another guy to make this list of the Make My Mark is Noel Williams, the cornerback from California. This is somebody that I'm really intrigued by. I'm continuing to do more and more work on him, but a couple things stood out to me. One, I love the fact that he is, you know, a 6'1", 200-pound corner. He measured just a shade under 6'1" at the combine, 199 pounds. Doesn't have necessarily the crazy arm length that you're looking for, but he's a long-bodied corner. And what I really digged about him is before he went to Cal this year, he played at UNLV, and he was extremely productive at UNLV. Very, very good. Got better every single season. Transferred over to Cal, and you know, all he did was ball out there too, man. First team All ACC when he was there. He had 7 interceptions last year. He's had 14 picks in his career, so he's definitely a ball hawk. Somebody that when the ball is in the air, not a lot of guys are going to catch it on him because of the size and the length and just his ability to track the football. He's a good and he's a very solid, sound tackler, but he's an ascending player. He's gotten better every single year that he's been in college, and I think that he's only going to continue on that trajectory moving forward. He's played a lot of football too, and that's something that you always like to see, right? About 37 games in college between UNLV and Cal. Very durable player, good against the run, overall really solid, and he could play in man and zone. He's definitely more of a zone style of corner, which a lot of teams in the NFL, play that. They also play some man as well, but zone is something that's going to translate into the NFL super well. But, you're talking about just a really polished cornerback overall. I just feel like he's really overall solid. He doesn't get beat very often. He really makes the corners or the wide receivers earn it. And the impressive thing about him, he's kind of a little bit more of a high upside rather than like a high floor type of a guy. Is like I said, not only is he a ball hawk with 14 career interceptions, but he looks to score when he's picking the ball off too, man. He's got really good like run after the catch ability for a cornerback. Someone that I think he had 3 touchdowns last season. Yeah, let me pull this up here real quick. Hold on. I should have had this up prior. Yeah, he had 7 interceptions last year with 3 touchdowns, and then he had 2 touchdowns the year before in 2023 and 3 touchdowns in 2022. So the dude has 8 career touchdowns and 14 career interceptions, something that you really love to see. Just 47.7% completion rate is among the lowest in terms of cornerbacks with, 250 plus snaps in the NFL, in the NCAA. Just a really, really solid player, man. I really like him. And like I said, I think the fact that he's getting better and better, his frame, his length, his size is going to be something that is really coveted in the NFL. He can go anywhere from round, again, 3 to 6, but I really, really liked what I've been seeing from Noel Williams, the cornerback out of Cal. All right. And my final guy, you guys know this dude had to make the list. He's been on the channel quite a bit. He recently ranked number 5 on my running backs list, and that is none other than Rutgers running back Kyle Monangai. You just watch a guy on film sometimes, and you just fall in love with what you see. And that's exactly what it is with Kyle Monangai. I mean, the dude is so fun to watch. Very physical runner. He's not the most athletic. He's not going to, he's a 4'6" guy. He's not going to burn you. He's not going to be the most elusive runner, but he's very, very tough. He's patient. He's got good vision. I think he's going to be very productive in the NFL for a team looking at someone that they just know they can rely on, man. If they need to get 3 yards, he can get 5. If they need 2 yards, he can get 4. If they need a, pop off, a 3rd and 8 and he gets the edge, he's going to be able to get you, 13, 14. That's just the kind of runner that he is. He's violent. He is violent. He looks to run through your face. But what makes him really on my list of the make my mark guys is he's a phenomenal special teams player when he's gotten the opportunity to play it. He's very, very good. I know a lot of people talk about Trevion Henderson being the best pass blocking running back in the draft, and I would say he probably is, but Kyle Monangai is not too far behind him. He can get a little bit better in terms of his technique because he does whiff here and there, but he lays people out. Just like his violent style when he's running the football, he's the same way in pass pro. And to me, that is always going to be the signs of a back that's going to be valuable because he's going to be able to get on the field and play. Coaches are going to trust him in pass protection, which is very rare for rookie running backs. And like I said, he's just a run finisher, and I love the frame. The 5'8", 212 pounds, built very similarly to Ashton Genty from that size. He's just short to the ground, got the leverage, great contact balance. He doesn't go down. He's one of the most fun running backs to watch, and I just am so confident that his game is going to translate very seamlessly to the NFL, especially if he's a part of a running back by committee. He's just going to be the guy that put him in, hand him the ball, and let him go out there and be productive. Love me some Kyle Monangai, and a huge fan of what he is. And those are the 5 make my mark prospects for the 2025 NFL draft. I know it's a little bit cheesy, but hey, man, I don't really care. But let me know what you guys think below. Who are some people in this draft, if they're highly touted or not? Don't come at me with Ashton Genty, right? We know he's going to be a baller. But that, you feel like maybe are not being talked about a lot in the NFL draft. And let me know below in the comments your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. But until the next video, y'all make sure, like I said, subscribe to the channel, take care of yourselves, and oh yeah, peace out.